Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Friday, April 7th, 2023. We left at 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tonight around 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't seek perfection in a changing world. Instead, perfect your love. Don't seek perfection in a changing world. Instead, perfect your love. Enlightened being, or Buddha. This world around us is a living sea of impermanence. This thought is quite scary to some, while super exciting to others. Either attitude you choose, you cannot escape from this ocean of intelligent energy that is constantly moving and shifting all around you and inside you. Everything and everyone on this planet is impermanent and is going to change. The way in which you deal with this truth determines how happy and peaceful you will feel in the near future. When we embrace things as the spice of life, meeting it every day with reverence and gratitude, we can live fully in this world while abiding in a constant state of joy. We not only can have total acceptance that everything and everyone in our lives is going to change, we can look forward to it. We can celebrate ahead of time the new house, job, baby, partner, body, attitude, and lifestyle that is already headed our way. We can trust this universe, that this universe already knows what's best for our soul's evolution, and trust ourselves to manifest the experiences we most need to have. Knowing this, we can rest in faith that the most amazing life is coming up ahead. The big question to ask ourselves is, how open and willing are we to receiving it? Now, if you've ever taken a good look inside your mind, you will see there is a great river of thoughts streaming into eternity and is pulling you along with its perpetually creative flow. For everyone beginning on their conscious joyride through this life, there are thoughts of doubt and fear, as well as thoughts of trust and appreciation about what we want to manifest. This is normal, as the mind is taught to swing between these extremes on its own accord. There is such an enormous momentum behind this pendulum swing that it would take something quite massive or miraculous to stop it. The only thing one can do is sit back, smile, and laugh when the pendulum moves to an extreme. We can train ourselves to relax when it swings into trust and joy, and breathe deeper when it swings back into doubt and fear. This allows us to open more fully to this life and welcome the most divine experiences headed our way. Now, the more practice you have with watching the pendulum swing, knowing it will soon move in another direction, the easier it becomes to relax and trust the process. There is some subtle satisfaction each time you sense a little movement. As you know, the roller coaster ride you're now on is about to send you into another thrill. With great awareness, there comes a point when there is no resistance or need to control the ride at all, and you surrender completely to every pendulum experience passing through. It is in this deepest surrender that you come to realize a profound feeling of inner peace is available inside you at all times in this changing world. Your surrender serves you to be the master of your existence, allowing you to fully experience the totality and freedom of each swinging movement. Welcome life's pendulum on the most intimate levels. Be humble because you are made of the earth. Be noble because you are made of the stars, the unknown. Be humble because you're made of the earth, body. Be noble because you are made of the stars, the God within the body. If you have ever sat next to the ocean, and a lot of us have, you felt how the waves are always flowing in and out. There is an eternal flow that is deeply calming to see. You can easily understand how each waves depend on the previous wave to exist. The ocean's inhale cannot exist without its exhale. The same goes with your experience of trusting in this life and doubting in life. One cannot exist without the other. When we accept this fact, we stop clinging to trust and let go of resisting doubt. We can experience a deeper let go and know that in a short time, things will shift and the temporary waves of emotion we are currently experiencing will soon change. Now, what I find interesting about the ocean is that even though we can see this obvious surface movement in the waves, there's also this slower, deeper, not so noticeable push and pull of the tide. The ocean of deeper emotions and patterns we think are stagnant inside us are as well in a perpetual flow and movement. The idea that we are stuck in an emotional pattern is a game the mind is playing with itself. We only believe we are stuck because the deeper shift is simply too long and slow for us to see at the surface. We simply need to adjust our vision to having patient eyes that are willing to wait in the witnessing state for an eternity. With the eternal witnesser behind your eyes, you can soon see how the tide of life is already taking your life in a completely new direction. Again, everything in this world is going to change. Nothing superficial or deep inside us can ever remain stagnant. We can see how these surface and deeper energies are in constant motion in our relationships with people. People are made of 70% water, give or take, and are always in movement constantly, growing, aging, evolving, even if we don't think they are. Every relationship in our lives today is going to change and is not going to be the same tomorrow. The person that we've known the past year or 25 years is not the same person we knew yesterday. Once we start wearing these life-changing glasses, we will begin to see more clearly the subtle shifts that are constantly happening. Once we release the idea of who we think others are, we give permission to ourselves as well to change and be more free to embrace how we are changing. When we stop trying to change others and just trust the divine cosmic flow is taking perfectly good care of everyone, we can let go of how we think life should be at any given moment and practice loving everyone for who they are and where they are at in their journey. When we can respect the universe is ultimately in charge of all outer change in people, we can enjoy the inner changes which we are here to explore in our soul's evolutionary process. It becomes extremely enjoyable to abide in a state of trusting life and almost orgasmic to let go of what we think is best for another being. Let peace and stillness flood through you and envelop you completely in its cloak. Become like an empty vessel ready to be filled with life's nectar. Eileen Caddy. In reality, we truly have no clue what another soul deeply needs in each new moment. It's vastly more important to figure out what our own soul needs rather than somebody else's needs. Some souls may actually require more pain to spiritually awaken, while others simply need to relax and let in more pleasure. It's completely arrogant and foolish for anyone to think they know what's best for us. It's completely arrogant and foolish for anyone to think they know what's best for us. And so why should we know what's best for them? We simply need to make room for everyone to become anything or anyone they want to be in any moment. If it's real love and freedom you want in this lifetime, then it's real love and freedom you must give. If it's real love and freedom you want in this lifetime, then it's real love and freedom you must give. It's in the freedom that you give to others, which in the end allows you to truly feel more free. The greatest suffering we incur upon ourselves will always come from one simple thing: believing in the illusion that something is permanent and is never going to change. The greatest suffering any of us incur upon ourselves will always come from one simple thing: believing in the illusion that something is permanent and is never going to change. The only real security we can find on this journey, endless journey, comes from joyfully embracing that change will continue forever and ever and ever. When we can rest and relax inside this eternal law, we can accept the fact that change is the constant, reliable norm and find true security and inner peace knowing nothing is ever going to be the same. It is within this eternal law that we can rest deeply in our innermost being. Finding real peace as we float along this flowing river, we can relax about what happened yesterday, knowing it is only a memory. And what's more amazing are the fresh, new, enlightening experiences potentially headed your way today. It always comes down to it's all about you. Okay? No matter what information is shared, it's all of it is about you. And what you decide to discover. We all know what, and not just this lifetime, but we all have a pretty darn good idea and understanding and comprehension that that's the physical material world. We know the dangers, right? We know the seductions and enticements of it. And we've all been sucked into it. Hook, line, sinker. For years and years and years. Now, see, we're knowledgeable. And we know now that, hey, it's time that we move within instead of all this time moving out. So we move within. That it doesn't mean that the majority or any of us know what we will find. We have no clue. But we know it's got to be phenomenal. And we know that there's a God in this body, and we know that that's what we are, the God. It may sound confusing to some, but when you go within and you focus on your breath, you don't have to make an effort at it. Just focus on your breathing. Easy and slow it goes. This is breathing easily and slowly goes in through the nose and easily and slowly goes out the mouth. It's a constant. It's automatic. So, and that's where we move, because why would we go out there anymore? We know what's out there. All of us do. We know what's out there. We know the good, the bad, and the ugly of what's out there, because what's out there is ego, mind, kingdom. Yesterday and tomorrow. That's ego, mind, kingdom. That's where we have all, none of us are exempt, we have all suffered. We've all been disappointed, right? We've all been frustrated. We've all been happy at times. You know, it didn't last. It doesn't last without there. And we've had fun at times, but it doesn't last. It's always, you ever notice? It's got to be another fix, another fix, another fix, another fix throughout this life. So we get in a boat, right? We lay back in the lounge. We don't care. There's no oars. And we let the current take us. That's this life. So are we worried about where we're going? Nope. Are we stressing, fearing? No. Are we suffering? No. Why? Because we're in the now. We're only focused on the moment. And that's not that easy for the majority of us, because we've never really practiced it. So it's a step-by-step process you practice every day. You know, you don't do it with anger, right, towards yourself or others. You do it with love, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, and peace. So you know that all these thoughts that come flooding in, that we all get every day, are ego-mind thoughts. Now, no matter how much they appear to be your thoughts, they're not. They are ego-mind thoughts. And you can tell after a while. And you're not judging. You can just tell through the heart-mind. You'll automatically chime in and say, that's an ego-mind thought. That is not my thought, and I really don't care to engage into it. And you won't. And it'll disappear. There'll be others that take its place. But you'll do it all day. Don't care to engage in that. There might be a thought. Have you ever felt this? To send a thought out to the universe. Rather than receiving all these thoughts coming in, send a thought out to the universe. Okay? That's your thought. Through the heart mind. Ego mind can trick us. It's slick character. But when we leave the mind and ego alone, when we focus on the now, and we watch it, we know how it operates. When you get agitated, right? Sometimes people get so agitated, they don't do it, they don't act it out, but they'd like to slug somebody, right? What is that? That's ego mind, insecurity. What it is. Now, another thing that it's so darn important for all of us that can, okay, that are receptive, put it that way, to focus on unity. Unity. You ever gotten together with a group of people and did something in the community or something, and how good it felt to be with those other people of like-mindedness? Huh? See, we've been cut off from natural communication through AI, through artificial intelligence. We've been cut off through one-on-one communication. See, we've almost atrophied in some cases because we're so used to being seduced, what? By the AI, by the smartphones. And man, after you practice that year after year after year after year, and you don't realize it, you really don't, you lose that communication of organic communication one-on-one. And you can't replace it with texting, which most people have. So it's a choice. So you say to yourself, I desire to communicate organically. Have you ever been in a situation where you're actually texting somebody, right? Then you just get this thought. You say, wouldn't it be neat and different if I just called this person and we could talk on the phone? So you say, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So you text him and say, hey, Jimmy, why don't we just talk on the phone? Give me a call. Jimmy says, why don't you just text me? You had that happen to you? Well, no, I'd like to talk with you one-on-one. Well, we're texting. That's one-on-one. No, organically, Jimmy, without the phone, without the texting and the electronics and everything. Now, a lot of people would say, well, no, the population is not being affected of the planet. Oh, sure it is, across the board. But you know what's interesting about it all? Whatever, and this is interesting, right now, right in this very moment, of everything that you surmise, right? And you say, well, most of it is just crap, right? And you know it. And there's some truth. Not a lot, but there's always some truth. And you say to yourself, well, how would I change all of this? Okay? Even though it's changing every second. But you would say, how would I change all this? And you're doing this through the heart mind. And you're actually doing it through the God that you are. Without prejudice, without judgment, critiquing, analyzing. How would I like all of this to change? I want all of this to change so that everybody moves into unity, and everybody embraces the fact to surrender, drop the baggage they've been carrying for lifetimes, make peace with themselves through the now. And watch, you know what would happen? All the prejudices would just melt away. Right? all the twisted teachings that all of us have had by other people's thoughts through the years. And I mean it, twisted teachings. And it doesn't mean that the people who taught you were twisted. It just means that the information was twisted. And so when you get twisted information, you get twisted civilization. Every single time. When you get twisted information or tutelage, you get a twisted civilization. Now, it's not negative. You know that you can untwist it. By doing what? By focusing on what it is you want, period. Now, it could be your life, but you're deeply grateful for the life that you currently have in the very moment. You say, I would like all conflict, all lies, major lies, manipulations, deceit, to vanish from the planet. I would like to see everyone on this planet that's of heart mind receive all the wealth they can possibly imagine. I would like to see all of the pure evil, corrupted souls, lifted off the planet, right? Bodies vaporized and souls drawn into the one. So the souls are no more. They're not destroyed. They are no more. They are blended in with the collective, the God of which we all are. This lifted off planet. No bombing, no killing, no shooting, no hanging, and lifted off the planet in one swoop. And all their essence with it. So there's no even a smidgen left wandering around the planet. This civilization can stop storms. This civilization can intend ecological growth, environmental growth. This civilization can move energies on this planet, right? So you move the energies. And this is only after you begin to discover that I'm the God within. I have met my God within this body. And now I'm getting to know who and what I am. Now, you're not doing it for anybody at all. You're doing it for you. So you can discover who and what you are. This is where it all connects. Okay? And we intend change because every single second, every atomic second is change. Now, it gets a little tricky because the soul evolves, right? And the God is within the soul. So our divine existence as gods is the only thing that doesn't change. Everything else changes. And that means, and we begin to know this, we embrace it. It's not like we're guessing, because we know. And so we desire clarity and openness. And we discover this. And everything is constantly changing outside of us, which means the body changes every second. But the God within it is supreme reality and never changes. And everything outside of us changes, which is not real. Right? You can touch things, feel things, and you could swear they're real. They're not. That's why to discover the gods that we are in these bodies is absolutely paramount. Whether this lifetime, the next lifetime, or 1,000 lifetimes from now. But it's a paramount thing. for the evolution of this civilization. We're not going to carry, okay, for instance, those who are aware enough and know this isn't a race and know that they desire to discover that they're a God within the body and not the body, they're not going to take things with them into higher frequencies. The things that are temporary fall away. New things come in and higher vibrational frequency. And we all start to do things, and we have no expectations of anything in return, literally across the board. So why do we do them? Because we enjoy helping each other, genuinely so. Enjoy this. We're helping ourselves by helping others. That's what we do. Hey, have you ever been in a situation, right? I think we've all been there more than once. And you're somewhere, and you see somebody trying to lift something, get something off a shelf, move something, and there's a little bit in you, just a little bit comes in and says, you should help them. You ever had that happen? You should really help them. And then the ego mind comes in and says, nah, you don't know, it could be dangerous. They could be weird, crazy or something. So you better not. And the majority of the time, people will just keep passing by. And then later they think, I should have really helped that person. Right? Because understanding that none of us are separate. And that's an illusion so that we can learn. We can realize that every one of us are part of us. Every one of us. It is a little difficult when you're watching some people and they're just, off the farm doing crazy things, and you go, oh, but they don't know that they're not the body. You look past the body and you see the God. People ask you, do you think I'm crazy? And you say to yourself, why would I? No, I don't think you're crazy. You do what you enjoy doing. In fact, it's enjoyable for me to watch what you do. When you go to a comedian, right, a comedy shop, and you sit there and laugh, don't you feel good? Right? And we don't, notice something as a people? We don't laugh much. We really don't. We don't laugh much. We don't smile much. Because we look at this life through the ego mind and we go, oh, there's serious stuff here. And someone might say to you, don't you ever take anything seriously? And you look at them and go, life is a joy. I really don't take anything too seriously. And of course, most people, and you don't really care what they think or say about you. You say, well, there's a beanbag right there. Because the most significant thing is that Doesn't matter about anybody else knowing. It's that you know. And you don't voice it and pound the chest or the ego mind and all that stuff because you know. What do you know? Well, I've discovered the God within me. Now, I don't know the God within me right now, but I know that I am the God within the body. Now I'm on this journey within to actually learn how to interact with the God that I am in this body. So what it means when it boils down to it, to simplify it, you become consciously aware that you're the God in the body and not the body. Even though it seems that The body's everything. And there really isn't a God within it. Right? And this is all made up. Remember, this is the ego mind at work. All that stuff is made up. So people might ask, so what should you believe in? You and the universe. That's what you believe in. You believe in you and the universe. Because every one of us have a super best friend that's with us at all times, that always has our back. The universe. Now, people go, well then, why at times is my life so crappy? Because you are manifesting the crappiness. No one else is. You're doing it. And the more steps you take down in that dark dungeon, the more the universe gives you. So the universe is always answering us, but we don't see it that way. We see it, well, why would the universe send me all of this just garbage to deal with? Because you asked for it some way, shape, or form. And some people will contemplate and start to realize, and a little light will go off. You're right, I have manifested this. How do I get out of it? Well, it's not about getting out of it. You decide that you're going to increase your vibrational frequency for being deeply grateful every second of your life, genuinely through the heart-mind. Focus on your breath, right? Focus on your breath, and you'll be in the now. And by being in the now, you'll end up mastering the ego mind. Okay? And you'll end up forgiving everything throughout this life and any lifetime that you've been carrying with you. You'll clean the cupboards. Everything will be pristine to receive the new energies. And that's what we're doing. And then you'll step right in to 5D frequency, and you'll be deeply grateful that you did. Even though it was a little scary at first, because you didn't know what you were going to be meeting or who with. And have you ever been in a situation where you were just absolutely freaked out about something that you had committed to do, and you were getting closer and closer to doing it, right? Almost to the point where you become frozen, and you do it, okay? You go ahead and do it, and you find out all of that stressing and fearing, and this was actually fun. You see? This was actually fun. How many times during the course of your day do you say to yourself, I love you deeply and I love you deeply, dearly, and forever? You know, if your name is Bill, you say, I love you, Bill, forever, deeply and eternally. And those vibrational frequencies make a big difference on your life. Wouldn't you rather flood yourself with positive energies rather than focusing on the negative ones that do come in anyway? You know that they come in. I mean, negatives come in for all of us at times. So what's a real negative? Well, you get $1 billion, and on the flip side, now you got to figure out how you're going to manage it, trust everybody, blah, 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 all that stuff. Another one is that you like a certain kind of food. You just really love it. And you eat it, okay, and you gain weight from it. That's the flip side. So the joy and the flavor and everything is wonderful, but you flip it, and it's like the pendulum going back and forth to each extreme. And you say, well, I really love it, but I gain weight. Then you say, well, then I'll adjust it. So I'll do about 80-some% of following a healthy regimen, and then, maybe 15-20% of the time, I'll indulge. Okay? And that balances out pretty darn good, and you don't gain weight. So these are all directions that we choose for ourselves. Right now, in this very moment, every one of us, the life that we are in, currently experiencing, we created for us, for ourselves. And when you finally get accustomed or acclimated to that understanding and embrace it through the heart-mind, then you're able to view a lot of things. I'd like to experience this, or I'd like to experience that. Now, it doesn't mean you know the outcome, does it? No. But you'd like to do it. And then you say, I'm going to do this. I don't have any expectations or attachments to it. I'm just going to do it for the experience of it. I have no idea how it's going to end up, but I know I'm protected, so I'm going to have fun. How many of us have fun? You don't have to spend a bucket of money to have fun. Laugh with yourself, go out in nature, sit on a park bench, and laugh. It's like letting go of all the weight through the ego mind. You just dump it off. It's like you can kind of experience this. You could get yourself some ankle weights. And just to understand, and a lot of people, this works for a lot of people. You get some ankle weights. You wear them. Wear them all day. You wear them all night. You wear them to bed. And you do this for about a week. You wear them. And who cares what people think? What are those on your ankle? Well, they're ankle weights. Why do you have those on? Well, it strengthens my legs and bones. And so it's a protocol I'm using right now to help with that. Oh, I see. And each day that goes by, you have no clue what it's going to feel like when you take those ankle weights off. You have no idea or what it's going to feel like. Because you've become used to it, right? So then, at the end of the week, you go, now I'm going to take them off. You take them off, and it feels almost like you can fly. You feel almost as light as a feather. You see? And this is to get us acclimated that there is nothing we cannot do. Nothing. And it's just an attitude. And the body gets tricked with the ankle weights. It gets tricked because we have this horrendous gravity pushing us to the ground. Right? We have this tremendous gravity pushing us to the ground all day, 24/7, to keep us on this planet. But then when you put those ankle weights on, that's more weight added to the body. And before long, maybe a week of wearing the ankle weights, you take them off, you feel light as a feather. You literally feel light as a feather. It doesn't last, okay, as the body reacclimates. But it's a fun test to do. And that, for that moment, it's a feeling of lightness and freedom, peace and tranquility. It's fun and exciting. And that's how every one of us will feel when we discover that we're the God within the body, which means we've embraced the God that we are, and we communicate with the God that we are. And talk about change, that does it exponentially around the planet. And it depends on you and what you decide for yourself, which will affect everything around you. I'll join you in the meditation, and I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. You are here to feel deeply satisfied. I want to invite you to get really curious about something today. What if you could feel totally okay and satisfied with yourself, your life, and your future? If all of your deepest desires never came true? What if your satisfaction and deep inner contentment was completely independent from the outer world? How would you approach your life differently? You are already so amazing. Please explore what it's like to feel deeply satisfied with yourself today, because you, of all people, deserve it. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night and the following morning. We'll return here tonight, Friday, April 7th, 2023, 9 p.m. Eastern. Continue our reverse aging, health call. Be kind, gentle, generous, and humble with oneself at all times. Be in the deepest, deepest, deepest of eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on around you.